Chapter 7. We continue as we see Kimura looking serious, as he says that he'll put a stop to this sick event visit. If he makes Kawashima take care of A-kun, they can block Ayami's screen time. It's two birds with one stone. As he proudly takes lead and heads out, we see Kawashima looking annoyed and Ayame looking happy. Now we see Ayame tells them that they reached her house. Kimura looks at the house and gets surprised as it looks more like a mansion. Ayame replies and tells him that this house is rented by her father. It's a bit smaller than her actual house. Hearing this shocks Kimura as he thinks that she's a wealthy lady. Now we see A-kun sleeping as he looks really sick. Kawashima looks at him like this and gets worried as she asks him if he's okay. A-kun looks at Kawashima and gets confused as to why she's there. Kimura rustles through the bag he has and tells her that he's brought some instant rice porridge and asks her if she can heat it up for A-kun. She agrees to it. Ayame gets fired up and tells him that she'll also make some. She tells them that it's just egg porridge, so she just has to microwave the egg, right? Hearing this worries Kimura, as he thinks that this is bad. Now we see a sudden explosion. We see that it's Ayami. She's blown up a pot while trying to make the eggs. Kimura gets angry and screams, "You cliché heroine!" Ayami gets scared and immediately apologizes to him. Seeing her like this makes him feel guilty. He immediately tells her that everyone makes mistakes, so it's okay. He calls Kawashima and tells her that he'll clean this mess up. He hands her a spoon and tells her to go feed A-kun and wipe his body afterwards if possible. Hearing the wiping his body part makes her embarrassed, she panics and tells him that's way too sudden. Kimura can do it on his own. Kimura screams and tells her that there's no way he goes closer to her and tells her to do it. She came all this way to set up the flag after all. Kawashima starts getting flustered. Suddenly Kimura grabs her hand. This was the final straw. She gets her bag and runs home as she tells him that she remembered that her mom asked her to run an errand. Kimura tries to stop her, but she doesn't. He sees her go and thinks that she chickened out and ran away. As Kawashima is running away with a red face, she thinks that she can't face A-kun while she's still all confused about Kimura. As Kimura goes back in, Ayame asks him if Kawashima went home. He replies and says, yes. He tells her to clean up here while he goes, and feeds A-kun some porridge. He asks her if she can help out and make a wet towel for him. Ayame looks serious as she says, got it. Now we see Kimura in A-kun's room. Kimura takes a spoonful of porridge and feeds it to A-kun. As he asks him if he can eat it, A-kun eats it, as he still has his eyes closed. He thinks that Kawashima is the one feeding him. Hearing this baffles Kimura. Suddenly he gets a grin on his face as he thinks that this is lucky. He thinks that he has to play along with everything he's got. Kimura ties up his hair and speaks to A-kun in a high-pitched voice to imitate Kawashima. Ayame comes in and sees this happening and asks him what the hell is he doing. She tells him that she's got the wet towel ready. He thanks her and takes it. She stands at the corner and asks him if she can watch from there. Kimura tells her that she can watch it. Suddenly, Kimura removes A-kun's shirt. Seeing this makes Ayame blush and scream as she turns around. She screams at Kimura and asks him what is he doing. It's so indecent. Kimura tells her that he has to take A-kun's shirt off. How else is he supposed to wipe his wet? Kimura tells her to just turn around. As she covers her eyes, she tells him that she's already turned around. After wiping him, we see A-kun sleeping again. Ayame asks Kimura if A-kun's going to get better. He replies and says that's usually the case. Hearing this relieves her as she sighs and says that she's glad Kimura sees this reaction and tells her that he can't tell if they two get along or not. Ayame looks annoyed as she tells him to not get out the wrong idea just because she's relieved. As she's beet red, she tells him that if A-kun stays sick forever, she won't get any of her meals. It's not like she's worried about him or anything. Kimura smiles and tells her that he's glad that she's back to her usual self. The meek version of her didn't feel right. Hearing this makes her embarrassed as she screams, "What did you just say?" As she's blushing, Kimura thinks that her being shy would be a total disaster. Sometimes that's the kind of things that makes a relationship progress unexpectedly. Ayame asks Kimura if he's staying over. He replies and says, yep. He asks her, aren't her parents worried about a boy and a girl living under the same roof even if they're engaged? She replies and says, they are not. Her father probably doesn't care at all. Hearing this makes him ask what her mom thinks about this. Ayame tells him that her mother passed away. Hearing this shocks him as he apologizes to her and thinks that this is not good. Ayame looks sad as she tells him that it's fine. It was a long time ago when she was just a kid. Her mother used to sing lullabies to her whenever she has a fever. As she says this, she sits on the bed and demonstrates it. Ayami starts singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Kimura is surprised by this, but suddenly he realizes something. He gets shocked as he thinks that this is getting peak. Something peak's gonna happen between her and Akun. As she's singing, he suddenly calls her. He proudly tells her that if it's a lullaby she needs, she can leave it to him. Hearing this confuses her as she asks why him. He looks at Akun's face and tells her that he's just in the mood to sing. She looks at him like he's a weirdo and tells him that's quite a mood he has there. Kimura looks worried as he starts to sing. He starts singing, she looks at him and chuckles. As he sings, it reminds her of her time with her mother when she was sick. Ayame remembers her mother as she goes to sleep. Kimura finishes singing and tells Ayame that he didn't expect her mother to have passed away, and asks her why did her father arrange an engagement between her and Akun anyway. He turns around in confusion as he doesn't hear her. He sees that she's fast asleep. As he sees this, he thinks that he should maybe look into it for Kawashima's sake. Now we see that it's the next day. Ayame wakes up as she's surprised. She looks out the window and sees that it's already morning and can't believe that she fell asleep. She realizes that she has a blanket over her. She looks at Kimura and sees that he's sitting next to Akun and sleeping. She looks at him and says that Kimura really did stay up taking care of Akun the whole time. She gently covers Kimura with the blanket. She looks at him with respect and thinks what a weird guy he is. Now we see Akun waking up as he stretches and thinks that he feels much better than yesterday. He suddenly sees Kimura sleeping on the bed and gets shocked as to why he's here. Akun looks at himself and realizes that even his body feels all clean. As he's thinking this, Ayame walks in and sees that Akun is up. He asks her if she was the one who took care of him when he was sick. She looks annoyed as she tells him that she didn't. It was Kimura who got him. Hearing this shocks Akun. She continues and says that Kimura even started singing lullabies for him. Hearing this confuses and shocks him even more. Akun looks at Kimura's face and says, "So he went that far." Akun suddenly blushes and says, "So he really does like me after all." As he says this, we see Kimura still sleeping, but he suddenly feels like something is wrong. And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you,